Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle, and today's video will be about my experience doing 75 hard now that I've completed it. And I'll go over some tips and some tricks on how I did it to complete it during the winter time specifically, and just some general tips. And then I'll go over my results at the end, so stay tuned. And if I'm looking over here, it's because I am looking at my notes so I stay on track. So what is 75 hard? 75 hard is a mindset challenge. It's not a fitness challenge. That was created by Andy Frisella. It involves tasks that you have to do every single day for 75 days. And those tasks are 2 workouts a day. One has to be outside and they both must be 45 minutes. Drinking a gallon of water every day. 10 pages of reading every day. Sticking to a diet that you choose. And no cheat meals, no alcohol. Now, let's talk about why did I do this. So I decided to do it because I lost a lot of weight during my juice fast and going raw vegan. If you haven't checked out those videos, please check them out. I vlogged my juice fasting journey and I've done some updates on my raw vegan journey as well. But I wasn't working out during that time. So I didn't work out from July to December when I started 75 hard. So I was just losing weight. I lost about 40 pounds during that time, but I knew I needed to take it to the next level and start working out so I could really mold and change my body to the way that I want it to look. So that is why I did it. And I knew I needed something to like jumpstart me to that point with the working out. I've never really been consistent with working out, so I said let me do something extreme. And if you haven't been on my channel yet, then I kind of like to do some things that are extreme, like a 60-day juice fast and then going raw vegan from being completely opposite of that before then. So that is why I did it. The first tip I would say is download the app to track your daily activities. The app does cost, it's about, when I downloaded it, I think it was about $7. So it's not terribly expensive. I like the app because I could just check things off as I did it. And it kind of gave me a sense of like pride in completing things. So definitely download the app. The next thing I would also say is try to track it some other way as well. Not necessarily the daily activities, but just like the days that you have left. So for me, I was doing sticky notes on one of my mirrors in my bathroom, and that really helped me to track every day. Every day once I was done, I felt a sense of accomplishment as well, pulling off the sticky note every single day. Next, I would say start the water as early as possible. You will, in the beginning, have to go to the bathroom a lot. It is annoying. But yes, try to start it as early as possible. That way you're not at 11:30 p.m. and you're trying to jug a gallon of water down, because that's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be up all night having to go to the bathroom. So try to start that early. The next I would say is make the diet something you know you will stick with. I would say don't try to go too hard with so many changes at once. So just be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. Like, don't try to do too much with the diet. If you only cut out one thing, or if you cut out fast food and you just stick to cooking at home. For me, it was being raw vegan. I was already doing raw vegan, so it, really wasn't hard for me because that's what I had already been doing. So try to make it something that you could stick with. Take progress pics in the same clothes if possible every single day. That's what I did. That way you could really see progress. If you're, changing out different clothes, you may look different depending on what you're wearing. So I would say definitely try to stick with the same clothes every day that you take your progress pic. Next, I would say if you can, track your workouts with a smartwatch. I track mine with my Apple Watch. I started my watch as soon as I started my outdoor session and then my indoor session. And so that, helped me keep my time, helped me keep like my stats and just see how I'm progressing. I did notice that like my breathing and my VO2 or whatever it is improved over the course of those weeks because, I was working out every day consistently. a good tip for me that helped me be successful, especially not somebody who's not into going to the gym. I started this during December 29th to March 13th. And so, you know, December, that last week of December, that's like people are getting ready for their New Year's resolutions, going to the gym. The gym is going to be way more packed than usual. So I would say work out at home if possible. That really helped me. It cut down on commute time. I really had no excuse not to work out because I'm doing it at home. Now I've made excuses before, but I was committed to this challenge and trying to get it done. Trying to start building a home gym. So like I found a barbell set that was 100 pounds on Facebook Marketplace right before I started. So I was able to get that. And then I had dumbbells already, but I invested in a few more dumbbells along the way as my progress was picking up. And then I had, you know, just regular fitness equipment like elastic bands, yoga mat, things like that. So it was very easy. And then the outdoor walk, my neighborhood is big enough for me to be able to walk for 45 minutes. I would say try to work out at home if possible, if you're not somebody who's really into the gym. Also using YouTube videos. I use Grow with Joe at least twice a week. I have a mini trampoline, so I will use Jumping Jacks, her videos. I enjoy both of them. And then 4 days a week, I will work out and do strength training. And then, of course, the outdoor walk was always my outdoor workout. I didn't do anything else during the outdoor workout, but walk. The next thing I would say is don't tell everyone about you doing this challenge. I'm kind of a private person, especially on goals and things that I'm trying to achieve. I don't want to be putting it out there to social media or even sometimes friends or family, even though I love my friends and family and I don't believe my core circle wants anything but the best for me, but you just never know. So for me, I didn't really tell a whole lot of people. I didn't post it on social media, and I didn't even start posting the videos for my vlogs until after I was done. It just, sometimes I like to hold things to the vest a little bit and just make it mine and then do a big reveal once I'm done. Or, you know, once I get further into the groove of things, you know, I would let my friends know or my family know. So that is another tip that I would say. Try not to tell everybody you're gonna do it, because that may make you feel discouraged if you fall off and now you have to tell everybody, oh, I fell off, I gotta start over. Every workout doesn't have to be 100%. Some days I just wasn't feeling it, so maybe I don't do a leg day workout. Maybe I'll just do yoga or Pilates, or I have a stationary bike, so maybe just do that and set the setting on one. But at least I showed up, even though it wasn't maybe my best, but I still did it and I felt better after I completed it. So that's really what matters, is that you show up for yourself. Get a foam roller for muscle massages. I had one already, but it definitely helped. You know, because you're working out twice a day, so your muscles are going to be fatigued. Also, maybe make time for Epsom salt baths. I tried to do one of those once a week on Sundays as well, just to help kind of just relax, just that downtime. Another tip would be make sure you're stretching regularly, especially dynamic stretching, especially if you're lifting weights. You want to do dynamic stretching. That definitely helps with recovery as well. And then the next tip would be just start when you think you want to do it. Like, don't wait, don't put a date on it, just start. Now for me, I kind of did that, but not really. I knew I wanted to do it like mid-December. I had made my mind up that I was going to do it, but I went to Iceland. So I didn't want to do it in Iceland, especially because the weather up there is like way different from here in Atlanta. So I waited till I got back, but as soon as I got back, I started on December 29th. I got back on like December 26th from Iceland. So I gave myself about 3 days and I started on, I want to say I started on a Sunday. The next tip would be remember your why. Like when things get hard, remember why you're doing this. For me, again, I did it because I wanted to get consistent with working out. It wasn't necessarily about the diet for me because I had already pretty much mastered like my eating. So I really wanted to get more consistent with working out. And then the last general tip would be, don't get discouraged if you aren't seeing progress every day. Eventually, I had to hide my scale in my attic because I was getting discouraged. I think like the first week, I lost like 4 pounds on the scale. But then after that, I wasn't really seeing much progress. So that was kind of discouraging to me. So I did put the scale in the attic, and I didn't weigh myself anymore until after the challenge was done because I didn't want to be discouraged and feel like, well, why am I doing this? Even though I did feel like that at times, but I think it would have made it worse if I would have been on a scale every single day. And I was so used to seeing very fast progress because I did a juice cleanse and I was losing like 3 pounds a week from doing that. So with this, it was more of a slow burn. All right, so next I'm gonna go over some winter tips. Now, I live in Atlanta, so our winters are pretty much mild, but for me, I don't really like the cold weather too much, so these may be good, especially if you live in the north, which in the north, you probably are already prepared. But for someone like me, I had things because I had just went to a cold climate for a vacation. But I would say the first thing is definitely invest in merino wool tops and bottoms and socks, thermals for the winter time. Try to do your outdoor exercise at the highest temp of the day. So you're gonna be like a low-key meteorologist because I was and still am like tracking weather patterns, like to see, okay, when can I get this done? I want to be any type of like super cold weather or any type of snow or rain. And we did have like 2 snowstorms while I was doing my challenge. So definitely, track the weather patterns. I would also say invest in waterproof and windproof gear. Depending on where you are, you may need hand and feet warmers. I had some from Iceland, but I did not have to use those. My hat and my gloves was enough for me and the thick socks, but you may need hand and feet warmers. Again, make sure you layer up. Like, you don't want to get sick, especially in the wintertime doing this challenge because you don't want to have to start over from day one. So I always made sure I layered up. Like if I had my heaviest coat on, I would have on some type of like fleece, then I have a thermal, and I have on a wool over the thermal. So I was always like layered up. And then with the winter, the days are shorter. So start early since the days are shorter. I didn't want to be outside working out at night, especially in my neighborhood because we have coyotes in my neighborhood. So I didn't want to risk it. So I was getting off work at 3. Soon as I got home, I would be making it out the door to get my outdoor walk in. On the weekend, I could kind of like play it by ear as far as how or when I wanted to do it. But definitely try to start early with the workouts if you can, so that way you beat the dark. All right, so next I'm gonna talk about some things that I liked. The 45-minute workouts. I like that the workouts were 45 minutes. I feel like 30 minutes would be too short. Like I would just be getting in a groove of things at 30 minutes. And then like an hour would be too long. So I like that they were 45 minutes. And of course you could go longer. Sometimes mine did end up being longer, but I like that. And I like that you could break it up too. So you may be taking more showers. Like if you do it in the morning and then do one in the evening. But I like that you can break it up. He does suggest breaking it up. That way you can have time for your muscles to recover. And again, separating workouts, like 90 minutes just seems like a really, really long stretch of time to do basically 2 workouts if you do your indoor and then your outdoor all together at once. So I like that you separate the workouts. Next, I like the reading. I really wanted to get back into reading. And so this challenge definitely helped. I read all of these books while I was on the challenge. I think my favorite book was Born to Run. I really like that. Now, you should be reading self-help books on the challenge. Born to Run kind of is a self-help book. I mean, I want to start running at some point. And so I really enjoyed the stories, and he gave good tips on like footwear in this book. But yeah, and I read 4 complete books, these 4 in the middle. And then this one I had started reading before starting the challenge to get in the habit of it. And this one I just did like a couple days at the end of the challenge because I had finished the Born to Run book. So I just picked this one up to continue reading, but I did not actually finish this during the challenge. And I finished this one, but I had already been in the middle of it. The next thing I liked was choosing your own diet. I mean, again, you do what you want to do. That way you don't feel restricted or, you know, something that you just can't keep up with, like going keto or, you know, opposite end, maybe going vegan. So I would say I like that you can choose your own diet. It's not a plan where you have to be on some strict diet. I like that you can really do this and structure it how you want to. Like, no 2 people would do 75 hard the same. And I enjoyed that about this because it made it easy for me to be accountable to myself. It feels like just one big self-care challenge. Like, aside from the daily tasks, you know, I made a commitment to myself to be in my Bible more. So during that 75 days, I was in my Bible every single day. I was reading or listening to audiobooks as well as my hardcover books. I was back into like my skincare routine, maybe because I was taking more showers. So I was back into my skincare routine more often. And I was doing an Epsom salt baths like once a week. I was going to the sauna like 3 to 4 times a week at the gym. So I really enjoyed that as well, just getting all those toxins out. I did get a colonic. I'm a fan of those because it just helps clear you out. So I got a colonic, I got a massage, I got a facial. Like, I did a lot of things. And I was more aware of my time, like, and time being wasted, which I really enjoyed because it's like, I can't sit on the phone with you all night. I can't sit down and like just let the day go by. Like, I have things I have to get done to be successful for this day. And so I really enjoyed that as well. And I like that I was only having to be accountable to me. Working out at home, for one, really helped me. When I've had trainers before, having to be strict on having to be strict on a certain day or time that I have to meet with somebody to work out has never worked for me in the past. If I'm feeling sluggish, I'm feeling lazy one day, I might not get my second workout done until 10 p.m. at night. Like, I had those days, but then some days I might be up at 5 a.m. and ready to work out, but I don't have to have an appointment to work out. Like, I like that I did it on my own. You know, I didn't have to. I love my friends, and I enjoy having accountability with them, but sometimes that can also be a hindrance because it's like, if they fall off, now it's like, well, now I have permission to fall off too. So again, just that accountability, I really enjoyed that about this. All right, so some of the things that I didn't enjoy about this challenge was I was annoyed with the water. I mean, I always have been somebody who drank a lot of water, but not a gallon. And I am a bigger girl, like I'm 5'9", and so the water was just a lot for me, especially in the beginning. So that's why I would try to get it done really, really early if possible. That way I wouldn't be up all night. And then tracking it. So I made sticky notes to track it. They're kind of fading now, but I had a water bottle that was whatever it is to make four of them equal 120 ounces. So y'all do the math on that. Don't judge me. But yeah, so it was 4. And so I would just tick off a mark every day. I had the dates on it. So these are all the sticky notes that I went through during my time on 75 hard with the water to make me track it. Now, you can use other more modern technology like an app, but I'm not good with apps and tracking food and tracking water. So I just like to make it easy for me. And so I used an old school method and just stuck it on my water bottle every day. The next thing, I was annoyed with the daily photo. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I had got to a point where I deleted all my photos. Now I did recover them after like a couple days, but I was just tired of taking a photo every day, because you're not gonna see progress every single day that you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're looking at yourself all the time. And if you're working out and you're exercising, you're probably looking at yourself more than you did before, because you're proud of yourself. If you're at the gym, you're in the mirror looking at yourself working out. So I was annoyed with that. For me, I think a weekly photo is better, but I stuck with it. I did the photo every day. That was the easiest thing to do, in my opinion. I feel like the hardest thing starting out for me was the working out twice a day, but the photo was the easiest part, and then the reading and the water you could do throughout the day. So it wasn't that hard. You just got to make sure either you take your water with you or you grab something if you're out on the go. Last thing is, it may feel like the challenge is consuming your time and your life, but it's really not. Like, when you think about it, like I said, you could do the water during the day, throughout the day. You can, get your 10 pages of reading in the morning if possible, or at night. I always did my progress photo in the morning. That way it looked the most skinniest of the day. And then the food wasn't really an issue for me. It was just, for me, it was the working out, because I hadn't been working out at all prior to this. So let's talk about my progress. And so I'll insert some pictures either here or here, but I'm proud of my progress. I've seen other videos where people lost, a lot of weight. For me, I lost 10 pounds over 10 weeks, which I think is good for me, because I had already lost a drastic amount of weight, like 40 pounds. So losing another 10 pounds was really good over 10 weeks. I was losing about a pound a week when you average it out. I lost 2 inches off my waist and my hips as well. And I lost some inches like around my calves and around my thighs. I think all of it pretty much added up to be about 1 or 2 inches on all the parts of my body that I measured. So I'm very proud of my results and my progress. And so you may be wondering, okay, well, like, what's next for you? So at the time of filming, I have completed phase 1 of the Live Hard Challenge, which is everything is 75 hard, but then you add in doing something every day for your business, taking a 5-minute cold shower. And there's one other thing, I'll list it over here somewhere. It's escaping me right now, but I did complete phase 1 of the Live Hard Challenge, and I'm going to continue on to the next 2 phases that are left. So over the year, I will have completed the full Live Hard Challenge. I'm continuing to lift weights. I want to eventually start running, like I said. So doing a Couch to 5K may be what I do next. So if you want vlogs on Couch to 5K, let me know as I start, trying to get into running. And then really just continue self-care, just continuing to take care of myself, working out, eating healthy, continuing to read. So that is what is next for me after completing 75 hard. Again, check out my vlogs. They're all posted now for the full 75 days. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want to see me vlog any more of the 75 hard / Live Hard Challenge, if you want to see me vlog the Couch to 5K, let me know down below. If you have any questions or comments, I'll answer them as well. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you later.